What is up? Welcome to Studio Day Heffrey. Today we're going to talk about a couple of different things with the Cowboys draft because I got a little time before I got to hit the road. Take care of some things today. So I have some mailbag questions from you guys, which of course you can leave at youtube.com/Jeff Kavanaugh. You can leave in the comments of this video what you would like to hear about in tomorrow's video, right? That's the way we do things around here. Now, I've got questions from you guys, and some of them, I got them on my notepad on my laptop down below me, so hold on a second. I got to look at them. So, like my guy, the sports narrative here, he said, what happens if both Jaycee Horn and Patrick Surtain are gone by the 10th pick and no Kyle Pitts? So, like, that's drawing up the Cowboys Doomsday scenario. And I'm going to draw up the Doomsday scenario for you right now. This is the Doomsday scenario. 4 quarterbacks are gone, or less, I guess. But Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, Trey Lance, and Zach Wilson, right? They're all 4 gone. The other 5 players gone in Cowboys Doomsday scenario, you lose Patrick Surtain and you lose Jaycee Horn, and you lose Penei Sewell, and you lose Rashawn Slater, and you lose Kyle Pitts, right? Because that's a Doomsday scenario, because now I think the things that come into play are things that I would not like to see come into play for the Cowboys with the 10th overall pick, like Micah Parsons. I would bring into the conversation Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. None of the edge rushers in this draft deserve to be picked in the top 10. Do you start talking about Greg Newsome? Like, that's the Doomsday scenario. But even in the Doomsday scenario, here's my biggest point on this. Even in the Doomsday scenario, it's very likely that you can trade out of that pick. Because the only way that you can get rid of Penei Sewell, Rashawn Slater, Jaycee Horn, Patrick Surtain, and Kyle Pitts, there's only 4 more guys that you can pick there. So one of the 5 quarterbacks is left. So ideally, you would still have the ability to call New England or Chicago or whoever and find a way to trade down. My dream is obviously New England, because I think if you go to Chicago, there's a chance you get wiped out of all the players I want to pick in the top 20. Another name that you would bring up in the Doomsday scenario, or at least I would, Elijah Vera-Tucker at USC. He played guard 2 years ago. He played tackle last year, and he played both of them really, really, really well. So I think that is a dude that you could plug and play. At left guard, you could rock and roll, and you'd enjoy that. So the Doomsday scenario is probably not a real Doomsday scenario, because you should be able to find a way out of there. Just don't pick a defensive end and don't pick Micah Parsons, you know? That's my rule about Doomsday. What would it take for you to trade down, or to convince you to trade down? Not much. New England, that's the jam. New England's the jam. Because at 15, you would still have somebody like Elijah Vera-Tucker, or maybe Jaycee Horn, but more likely Greg Newsome, Northwestern corner. At 15, you'd still have options that I'd be okay with, and you could add an extra pick in the 40s. And adding a pick in the 40s, that's where you party at. That's the jam. Now, where is the one? I had a question. There we go. Cornerbacks and edge rushers that can be found on day 2. That is actually one of my favorite topics in this entire draft class, because it is a really good corner class and it is a really good edge class, just not at the top. So, because I don't believe in prepping when I'm going to make a video, I believe in just winging it. I don't have my board pulled up, but I'm pulling it up. Here we go. So at cornerback, I have Jaycee Horn, Patrick Surtain, Greg Newsome as first-round guys. Caleb Farley is the wild card. Virginia Tech, Caleb Farley, because of the 2 back vasectomies, because I don't know how to say the actual word. So with the 2 back vasectomies, what do you do with him? I just slapped him in the 2nd round. If you get him to 44, cool. I'll take him at 44. I got no problem with that. But I don't want to do it in the 1st round because I'm terrified of backs. So cornerbacks in the 2nd round. Kelvin Joseph, a.k.a. Boss Man Fat. He's a good musician. And he's a really good corner. He's just had 2 coaching staffs hate him in college that didn't want him to stick around to the team and were really happy when he opted out and or transferred. But he's a good football player. You're going to have coachability questions, but he's a baller. Asante Samuel Jr., Florida State. He's 5'10", but he's a baller. Elijah Molden, Washington. He's 5'10", excuse me, but he's a baller. And I've actually heard that the Cowboys are doing work on Elijah Molden, a decent amount of work. And that could be the Dan Quinn special. Think about DeMonte KZ, who's on the Cowboys right now as their free safety, although he's coming off an Achilles and he's got basically no money invested in him. So who knows how much they like him. You guys want to wrestle in the middle of my video? That's messed up. Chill out, pups. Elijah Molden. He would be like DeMonte KZ, who Dan Quinn drafted as a cornerback out of college, made him a safety. And Elijah Molden could do that. You watch him play at Washington when he's playing in the slot. He's playing like a safety. There's a lot of zone. There's a lot of reading quarterback's eyes. There's a lot of diagnosing plays and going to make plays on the ball. He's great. Caleb Farley, again, wherever you're comfortable. Aaron Robinson, Central Florida, is a second-round corner for me. I think he's a really good slot corner prospect. He is over 6 foot, or if he's not, he's just under. He's a full-size slot dude, and he's like the slot version of Jaycee Horn. Like, he's just hands all over people, hard to separate from, tough dude. Ifeatu Melifonwu, Syracuse, my guy Dalton Miller's guy. I like him too, second-round guy. Eric Stokes, Georgia, second-round guy. And that's the end of my second round, but that's 8 names. It's a deep cornerback class on day 2. I love day 2 of the draft. It's my favorite day of the draft. And then you ask about edges. Guess how many edges I have in the second round? 7. Boogie Basham, Wake Forest. If he makes it to 44, you got to think about it. Boogie Basham's awesome. I love him. I'm going to teach him how to use his hands, and he's going to be great. Kwity Paye, with his athleticism, maybe he's going to go in the first round. Peyton Turner, Houston. It's like 6'7", long arms, just impossible to block because he has long arms. He knows how to use them. Jason Owe, Penn State, a freak athlete. Maybe he goes somewhere in the first round because he's a freak athlete, but I don't trust him. Joe Tryon, Washington. A little bit like Peyton Turner to me, where he's got pass rushing tools. Not totally sure what he's doing yet, but he plays with that forward lean and he uses the length, and that's nice. Joseph Osai, great athlete, still kind of new as an edge player, Texas. But he's super athletic. Motor never stops. He's fun. And Ronnie Perkins, Oklahoma. His athletic testing was not good, which scares me a little bit, but his tape was pretty good. He's a good player. So those are my second round edge guys. So corner, edge. That's why you got to trade down. That's why Captain Trade Down's got to ride, because I can pick one of each. And if you took a corner in the first, maybe you don't want to take a corner in the second. That's okay. Because it's also a great spot to grab your linebacker. If you want to grab a linebacker, it's a great spot to grab an offensive lineman if you got an extra pick. It's a great spot to pick a defensive tackle if you have an extra pick. I'm trying to get an extra pick because of this board, which I'll release the full board at some point in the next couple of days. Let me see who else we got here. What else we got here? What safeties should we watch beyond Merrick and Grant? Great point. Safeties in the second round. Guess how many I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Although 2 of them are cheater grades. Ardarius Washington, Richie Grant, Trevon Merrick. Javon Holland, Oregon. I think you consider him at 44. I'd rather have him at 75, but you probably can't get him at 75, so you might have to pull that at 44. Strong safety, Divine Diablo, Virginia Tech. Love him. Hamza Nasruddin at Florida State. Got him as a cheater grade 2-3. And then Jamar Johnson at Indiana, who is a really good coverage guy but can't tackle to save his life, is there in the third round for me. And Tyree Gillespie at Missouri, who's a nice, well-rounded safety, is there in the third round. So you got dudes. You got dudes, and I need picks. I need all the picks so that I can get these dudes. That's what we got to do. Let me see here. Day 3 wide receiver and quarterback prospects. I don't really care about quarterback. I'm not worried about it. I have a quarterback. Just don't let Mike McCarthy pick one. That's the only thing I care about. Just don't let, because he picked his family friend last year, and that dude was not ready to play NFL football at all. That was terrifying and embarrassing. And day 3 wide receivers, Jalen Darden. I like Jalen Darden, North Texas. I like Daz Newsome at North Carolina. Those are a couple of my guys. They're smaller guys, but they're also good players with the ball in their hand. And I'm looking for a receiver on day 3 probably, but I'm looking for a receiver. Or in the Doomsday scenario, I could just take Jalen Waddle. You guys would get so mad at me if they took Jalen Waddle, but it wouldn't be my fault. It would be them. It wouldn't be their fault. It would be hot. It'd be amazing. And that's that. I'm going to go. I got a nephew and a niece's birthday today. It's going to be great. Oh, check out the shirt, too. Be nice, everybody. Okay? Be nice. Be cool to everybody. You have no idea what anybody's going through, and I love you. Make sure on YouTube.com, YouTube.com/Jeff Kavanaugh. Leave in the comments what you want to hear about tomorrow. Leave me your questions, your comments, why you think I'm an idiot, why you don't think I'm an idiot. Just leave something in the comments for the algorithm. Mash that like button. Check 1053thefan.com every day. And those are all the things that I have to tell you. I love you. Bye.